completely dependent on how Saberlight's game is compared to how Brax's game is. And if Saberlight has like any sort of decent game, then it looks really good for Undying for me.
Okay, well, it looks like we have both of our casters on the side of Undying in terms of draft. And but you know, we did say from the, like I mentioned, the previous panel, Jenkins did say that Axe, he wanted to see Brax on Axe. So let's see if Brax, Axe can take it, or if Undying will continue to win every single game they've played in this tournament.
Invoker has been really clutch. There's been a couple of times I remember watching, again in the Eastern European qualifiers, where there was like a Naga song into an Axe call, and then like the Axe immediately gets hexed as the song ends. He's trying to hit a call off. So hopefully don't see anything like that. But the other one is Spectre. This hero is like arms crazy slow, it feels like, if you don't get out of the laning step, struggling at all there. Do you feel like that's going to be a problem at all for Timado here? Does he have an okay lane?
His lane, no, his lane should be completely fine. Spectre historically has always been an Axe lane counter, just because Axe actually doesn't have, like, what beats Spectre in lane is if you can sort of shove it into her or get the lane equilibrium and then out-CS her, because Spectre, like, she doesn't have high kill threat and she has relatively low damage. What Spectre benefits from is she has really high regen and armor.
30 seconds to battle.
She's good versus Axe for that reason, because he won't contest her CS as much, and then, you know, Haunt counters his Blink Dagger, Desolate's good versus really high armor, and traditionally it was like, when you blink Blade Mail Spectre, she doesn't care at all. Now, even if you blink Manta Spectre, like, she takes a lot less damage because she has one of the only skills that reduces pure damage in Dispersion.
That's
oh,
fair.
wait, Spectre's already gone for Desolate. This is very new technology, because you usually get Dispersion and Dagger, like, until level 8 or even like level 11.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is new tech or misclick by Timado, but regardless, it's kind of interesting, you know, 18 bonus pure damage right out of the start if nobody's nearby. Oh, dude, Ocean's not expecting the Dispersion, the freaking Desolate.
Yeah, fight him, you're Desolate. But honestly, I think Timado will just TP here. He doesn't know if there are more heroes here or not. He doesn't want to get zoned out. No, he's going. He's gonna fight him. He can't hit him because of the move speed advantage and the slow, but yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why you would want Desolate in this lane, to be honest.
See if anything pops out immediately, or if, you know, maybe he tries to make some plays with it around the Haunt, get some more points in Desolate than you would anticipate. He could play more aggro style, possibly, who knows? But regardless, at least at the early going, you can see Dubu trying to push Brax back a little bit here, along with Timado, and
ooh, Desolate hit.
Nice. Dude, easy.
I mean, it's not like it's a bad spell, right? Like, it's just your other spells are usually so good.
Right.
But anyways, I'm curious to see how that leads, because in my head, like, I would always take Dispersion or Dagger level for Axe.
Back towards the mid lane, there's been a couple of games where I've seen Vipers just absolutely handle Invokers, particularly Quaswex Invokers. And you can see already 1-1, 2-1 now for Gunnar, playing against the 6th of the Viper. Kind of a tough one, and Bryle definitely is the strong hero.
Yeah, I think this matchup is very hard for Invoker at early levels, but I think Gunnar's like, I mean, he's obviously not winning the lane. He's doubled up on CS. But I think he's winning the lane in the sense that he has the hill. Like, he's not going to get zoned out by Viper's level 3 timing, which is usually really worrisome for Invoker, just because the creep wave is fine for him. So, like,
maybe he's like doing better than you would anticipate, or some other
I think
Invokers
so.
would do. Okay.
Yeah, like, he's already brought the self. He's going to be at full HP. Raul's going to self up, but Viper, like, he spends a lot of resources to harass mid. It has to, like, lead into denies or, like, zoning the other hero out from last hits. Otherwise, like, the hero doesn't, it's, like, not that good a hero. I mean, usually you can always do that. That's why it's such a good hero, but...
Oh my god, look at that. First level
nice
for Spectre all time. Desolate 96 out of like over 2,000. So
I like how there's a stats there. Who leveled stats?
So funny. I don't need my.
But yeah, it's very rare to level Desolate at level 1 compared to Dispersion or Dagger.
His little thing there, and does look like a little bit of a chase down. I mean, we haven't really talked about this at all, but they did decide to send Sammy up to the top lane. It's a Bro Strike coming through. Next on the Husky, and he's gonna fall. Moon drawing first blood.
That's huge, because I think Sand King's a hero that will really focus on this game. He's already sort of supposed to trade from versus Nagasar. Oh, and they're Wait, they got Timado.
Able to catch him. Yeah,
Top
that
lane though.
level
They're
2
also going
timing.
Sammy boy.
Oh my god, everything's happening all at once. Sammy, gotta get away. Trying to escape. And the Aphotic Shield keeps him alive along with that salve. Very action-packed, although there's only been 2 deaths.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see what happened with Spectre there, but you know, maybe he should have gotten a skill that let him be more survivable, and it really would have helped him there. I mean, there's a reason why, like, how you play versus Axe or Spectre is like, it's a very figural matchup. Like, all the way to 2016, this matchup was played, and it's always sort of been played a similar way.
A little bit of struggle there for sure, but they are going to get aggro onto Brax now. And this is a nice chunk of damage there. Is it enough for the kill? Oh no, the creep wave. It didn't proc. Oh man. Unreal.
Maybe the Zest is pretty good actually, because if you think about it, if Timado didn't die in that last engagement, like maybe Brax has slightly less levels, or maybe he has more levels, and then there's a kill there. Honestly, like, I'm criticizing the Deathside choice, but we haven't seen enough to actually like think anything, right? I'm just going off my gut feeling. Like, it feels weird historically. I don't know whether it's good or bad yet.
There's a very interesting one indeed there, and the salve up Timado afterwards. They are bringing Ocean back over there as there's a little bit of a battle for the bounty runes, and will Brow be able to get there in time? Or nope, Husky puts that one away.
He's gonna die for this stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna pay a price for sure. Ken goes up and he tries to walk away, and kill for Bryle. 2-1. In the tip afterwards. Dude, he got a bounty rune. You can't tip with that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think the kill's probably worth more, but one thing he did do is he drew Viper away from middle lane, and he made him spend a lot of mana to kill him. I think Gunnar sort of appreciated that, even if like Viper's also okay with it. It's one of those weird things where both teams are like, don't worry, I'm doing this, and the other team's like, don't worry, we're getting a kill or something. And, like, both teams are like just being happy about it.
The person that wins the game is the one that was actually right.
Of course, that's how Dota works.
Yeah.
The results-based thinking are always always the best way to approach life.
Nonetheless, 5 minutes into this one, and fairly stratified. You can see that Naga's actually had a pretty good time up here, despite losing that Abba one time, and down bottom, a nice chunk of damage. Timado in trouble. What just happened? Takes him down. Again, having a nice time on this axe here.
And this is huge, because in the panel, what I thought was like, whoever gets a better game between the offlaners is really going to take over the game, because both safe lanes are not inspiring, right? Like Wyvern Spectre, it's like and then like Abaddon Nagasan, same reaction. Now Brax, he has his Vanguard. If you have Vanguard with Spectre's only level 3, I think this lane counter doesn't matter. Oh, he doesn't keep his wagon up. I'm very surprised by that.
Makes that rotation and gets a cold break. Timado completely out of mana though. Ocean is starting to drop down kind of low. Tornado afterwards. Brax backs out. Ocean retreating as well. And the rest of them escape. It looks like it. So they force a rotation. Bryle came down bottom. Should be the end of it.
A really good heal from Dubu there, but still, I mean, that engagement felt a bit weird. Like, to go for a Spectre kill there, even though Spectre is just level 4, now he has a point of dispersion. He's a pretty tanky hero under the tower. I really would have liked to see 4 Zoomers sort of just tank 2 hits on the tower with the Vanguard on Axe and keep their wagon alive. Then they could have played that engagement for like the long con, you know, where they just hitting the tower and Radiant feels really bad. I think they sort of got forced by the fact that Gunnar had already rotated, and they tried to do a bit too much on that rotation.
Okay, fair enough.
They don't lose any heroes, but Radiant feels really good about that one.
Meantime, while that was happening, you also saw that Moon was able to soak up some of that XP there in the middle on this midway, trying to get into levels. Almost level 4 here at just about the 8-minute mark. And in the meantime, Sammy, he's jungling. This is what you anticipate from the Naga Siren, from the Terrorblades, all those pesky illusion heroes. He's going to head off, just try and get into the levels. He'll probably be farming faster than the items. Ooh, they got chip vest though. That's great.
That is a nice item.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Naga's gonna go to the jungle, but when that happens, I think generally it's really important to dive the support top. We see Undying. They're looking for Husky, but he managed to. That's a cool spot. I'm gonna use that
Radiant
spot.
structures
That was
are
awesome.
Apparently, you don't get vision there, and
Radiant's
no,
bottom
he's
tower
out. They don't.
is under
He's gonna
attack.
keep sapping XP, being annoying, and just trying to hold on to this tower as long as possible.
What we're seeing! What just
Meantime,
happened?
on the other side, as you can see, Ocean, Brax, they're
Dire's
pressuring
top
this turret.
tower
Now, they
is
don't
under
have the
attack.
catapult, which is certainly annoying, but they do have this ward over in the area, which
Radiant's
is
bottom
scouting
tower
Timado's
is under
movement,
attack.
and could go for a play on him now. Forward cookies there. They've got the call afterwards. They need a spin. Can they get it in time? Oh, they will get the spin, but not before the bushwhack comes in. And now, the Brile in the area, both TP out. Anyway, away.
What we're seeing!
They're gone.
What just happened?
That was so cool from 4 Zoomers. You saw Brax, he was dancing the wave around, not cutting and killing it, because he knew Spectre would defend the tower, and he wants the enemy creep wave alive so that he can like spin on him when he calls him. And because of that, they
Radiant's
both
middle
took the Viper
tower is
TP
under attack.
and the Hoodwink Bushwhack, so they rotate 4 heroes on Undying, and they get absolutely nothing from that. Like, Viper's a slow hero. He's TP to bottom and walked to mid 2 times. That's a really long time to walk when your hero's like 285 base MS. Or even slower than that, I think.
He's not like rotating and finding those kills necessarily either, which is, you know, maybe what you would have wanted is Gunnar. Oh, they got him. That's really
Dire's
rough.
middle
So
tower is
Brile
under
and
attack.
Moon able to make that rotation, but trying to keep him alive is Husky. With the Aphotic Shield, they drop down another sentry. Can they keep him alive? Aphotic Shield,
Dire's
miscoil
top
back up in a
tower is
second,
under
and
attack.
barely. Gunnar is able to escape. Wow, that was a huge save by Husky.
Really clutch. 4 Zoomers are just making these clutch plays around the map to eke out disadvantages. That being said, though, look at Saberlight's farm. This guy is beasting it up this game.
Dire's
He has the
structures are
Vanguard. He didn't go
fortified.
for some Shenko boots,
Dire's top tower is
you know,
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger, Small Sun plays. He's going for the full like
Dire
Vanguard
are scanning.
Chad build. You have Vanguard, you got Blink Dagger. You're beasting it in fights. You just tank everything and do a lot of damage. Timado bottom
Radiant's
is
bottom
whoa.
tower is under
Whoa,
attack.
big play. Ocean almost able to catch him. That would have been crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is, of course, the problem with Spectre is it doesn't feel necessarily great being shoved out of lane like this. Though he does have level 6. We can play to go and try and farm out somewhere. Maybe just move into a lane. See what he decides to do there. Full 6s coming up soon as the tomes are going to be transferred out to everybody. Timado actually 3 levels behind Naga Siren, but Brile's found him. Song of the Siren comes out, trying to walk away so he can TP back home. Will not die. That ult.
Kill them all, kill them all.
Does manage to get back out of there.
So there's this concept in Dota about tower taking where it doesn't matter if you take an enemy tower if they're able to just take yours, right? Because you're just even. I mean, I don't know. I say concept sounds so pretentious. Like if you take a tower and they take your tower, it's the same.
Under
Right?
attack.
But the concept is that you want to, instead of like taking enemy towers,
Dire's top
it's more
tower
important
has
to
fallen.
defend your own towers when you have advantage. So we can do that. Saberlight with his Vanguard has rotated to bottom lane very early in this game. The entire purpose of this is just to hold this tower. And then they're gonna feel a map advantage because the creep wave, like it can sort of go further for them. You know, if you split the map by where the creep waves can go, they have a clear advantage on the map control.
Dire's bottom tower
Owie, I
is
don't
under
think it's.
attack.
Oh, I like your
Radiant's
concept,
middle
okay?
tower
They're
is
beautiful.
under attack.
Don't
I
let
mean,
me
it's
tell
a
you anything.
concept, but it's like, oh, you know, -1 tower is equal to -1 tower. It sounds so, like when I said it, just it's way too much. Like,
It's fair enough. It's fair. Oh man. Well, nonetheless, the concept that we're seeing right now is that level 6 on Snapfire hasn't been able to make any use of it yet on Ocean. Though he did chase the Spectre out of there, and we're getting pretty close to the blink on Axe. You talked about the Sand King after having gone back for, you know, the boost, use raindrops. He's now also going to go into that blink dagger. Going to be one of those timings when the battles might start breaking out pretty soon here. Smoke up on the side of Undying. Will they find anybody? Sammy doesn't have song.
What just happened?
This is a minute away, and eyes on him. Can they get the catch for the kill? Haunted. Oh, Power Rangers TP'd in to try and save, and it looks like Sammy will be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under
all
attack.
right. Honestly, Husky has really been on point this game, right? I think he saved his scores multiple times this game. It's only been 12 minutes, and they're.
Oh, wait, did they find Timado on this? Timado in trouble. Normer comes down, and they find the return kill. So Timado haunts in for that, and then not only does he not get the kill, he dies himself.
And honestly, an uncharacteristic mistake from Timado. I think in a lot of the other series, like I'm thinking his Axe game, he was like a very zero death player this tournament. But he makes a crucial error there where, you know, worst case in that last play, they force all of 4 Zoomers to topside, they force TPs, they can sort of take control of the rest of the map. But if you force enemy heroes to an area of the map, and then you die to them, then you just gave them purpose. You know, it's not forcing them there, it's just sort of giving them a kill. They just rotated on you by making a defensive move, and you don't want that. And unfortunately, like, he dies there, and that's honestly a very big death. See, Naga is starting to like open up the network lead between himself and Spectre now.
Told roughly where we're at, and Axe finishing off that blink dagger. It's coming out to him right now. I might see if he can dig up a salve here afterwards. The smoke play find Saberlight, but Saberlight, recognizing the inherent danger, is instead going to go mid and stop this pressure coming from Husky. Who, like you said, he's been playing really well. I thought his Coddle performance previous games were really good as well. A couple of like clutch smoke breaks and that type of stuff.
For sure. Underrated hero, by the way. Keeper of the Light, I think.
Yeah?
Oh man, their smoke popped, like it ended, and I thought it popped on the Axe on his own team. I got super confused. Brow's stuck down here though. They know he TP'd, or they should know.
Oh, and they're gonna Sunstrike right on top of Dude.
Oh, he smoked. But they saw the TP then, right? So they saw the TP, but no hero there. So I don't know if they think he canceled it or if they know he smoked. They know he's there.
Tornado hits, but Ocean hitting from the side, looking to get this and not get it denied. But looks like it's gonna go down most likely. Blink forward, finds the kill onto Ocean. Wasn't able to TP out of there. Tower does still stand, but it's only at 34 HP. And this whole time, they're farming on Naga.
They are, and these have this huge stack for Axe. Axe is gigantic. I mean, he's actually, if I looked at net worth, I thought he was more giant than this, but he has Vanguard Axe and he just farmed like a 4 stack, so he's feeling very good right now. Sorry, I drank some water. I think I'm just a disgusting human being.
Listen, staying hydrated is happiness. That's the most important thing.
That's true. Everyone should drink some water.
Everybody out there, drink some water. Do it to yourself. Treat yourself. And I'm going to try and find a way to transition into the fact that Timado just got tornadoed, and now Gunner is throw strikes as well. Got the MP coming out. Sharpshooter afterwards. Husky trying to get saved. Oh, Brax came in and saved him. He jumped in front of the sharpshooter, saving a life, and Husky saved it previously. You're saving him now. Naga gets hit by the curse. There's not nearly enough damage there. Dude, Zoomers, they ate their Wheaties this morning. They're looking so good.
Man, they're playing just fantastically on the counterplays here. That was a get down, Mr. President move. They force out the Winter's Curse, and this turnaround, it's not just killing a Sanking there, because normally you're like, oh, you know, we killed the offlaner, that's nice. I wish we killed the carry. Sanking was the highest net worth hero on his team by far during that fight. When you kill the highest net worth hero on the enemy team, of course you get more gold and stuff, but it's like a huge tempo swing because you're removing so much power from the map of your opponent. Oh, mid lane again, same play. Literally the same thing that we saw before. This time, won't be able to even get the control because Husky was there. Very impressive stuff. 3 to 5, and Simon has matchup. An opportunity there. I mean, how big? Oh my God, they go on him again. Husky's there again. Tries to keep him alive. This time might not be enough.
Dyer's middle tower.
3 heroes again, and finally take down Gunner, and might be able to pressure out this tower.
Dyer's structures
stop
are
this.
fortified.
I think they should try to defend this on Zoomers. I think they want to at least, but it's looking a bit hard here. They're rotating in the Axe. Oh, they're taking heavy.
Also, right in on top of it. They TP him in, and the rest of Zoomers will be able to keep that tower alive. So no tier 1 towers taken mid as of yet for either team.
And you can really appreciate sort of the tenacity from Team Undying there, you know? They know that this is the best play for them. They messed up the execution in the last fight. Maybe they need to wait a little bit longer for Moon Meadow so you can start channeling the ulti before Bushwhacker or something. But they go right back at it because while the first defense was really good, they did expend some resources, you know, the Mortimer's Kisses and etc. to defend the tower and take the fight last time. So I like that play. Another smoke from 4 Zoomers that doesn't seem to be connecting. Timado, he had a couple deaths in lane, but he seems to be dodging the smoke ganks really well this game.
He's keeping up definitely in farm with that Naga Siren. Obviously a little bit behind, but it's not the end of the world. And it's Quicksilver Amulet too. See if he decides to take that one, or maybe Dragon's Tail. There's a couple of others that are open. But it's interesting, right? Because normally we see these offlaners that are the ones that are sitting in front of towers, like Sand King that we just saw a second ago, keeping them alive. In this game, it's felt like Zoomers have put Gunnar on that role, and then it's up to Husky to keep them alive afterwards.
I mean, a little bit, because so the idea is that you want to put a hero that forms a wall there, right? Like your opponent wants to attack this area, you put your hero that they can't kill. If you think about Abaddon, he sort of makes any hero into that type of wall hero because he has the purge. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, they catch Ocean, and Brax realizing that he's going to TP out. Ocean can't quite get
Radiant's
the
middle
finish.
tower is under attack.
They bring 4 up there, and
Radiant's
meantime immediately
structures are
afterwards.
fortified.
Bloody bounty!
So you're saying the wall is what Abba provides? He becomes
The
your,
Abaddon,
like,
he
back
makes
wall.
so he makes someone else into the wall, right?
Right.
Like he could also stand there and spam it, but you don't really use the farm well. So you can allow another
Radiant's
hero to
middle
farm this
tower
really
is under
dangerous
attack.
area, and it worked really well the first time. I mean, you can't overdo it because you're only providing like a shield and a heal. It's not this. It doesn't make Invoker into some centaur with hood, but it is quite nice. I would like to see Sammy Boy. He did rotate over and farm the ancients, but I'd like to see him take over the bottom side of the map. Not smoke from Undying here though. Did they? They turn on Max.
Able to catch him. They do have Song,
Radiant's
and gonna
bottom
move
tower is
on
under
into
attack.
that area, save
Radiant's
his life.
courier
And
has been
Brax
killed.
gonna saunter
Dire's
away, happy
middle
as a
tower
clam.
is under
Get the
attack.
blink out. Gank will not succeed, and a little tip afterwards. Saberlight there by
Dire's top tower
Okay.
is under attack.
A good save by Sammy Boy there. As I was saying, I would like to see Sammy Boy, as he did, rotate over to the spot side because I think it gives your team a lot more options when Naga Siren or any hard carry can sort of pressure in the lane. When he's sitting in his own jungle, you can only really take creeps when it gets to your tower. There's no real map pressure coming in there. You'll farm a similar amount. I mean, actually, you farm more bottom still, but you provide a lot more to your team in terms of like vision and map.
Well, the game is kind of chilled out a little bit now, it feels like. We're just about that 20-minute mark, and Undying are 4 heroes mid lane. They just keep on wanting to have this pressure up there, and now they've decided to stick Gunnar instead of into the mid, putting these Naga Siren Manta Lucians in there. Instead, is this the play that you kind of want to see from Undying? Is just sort
Dire's
of
middle tower
hell-bent
is under
taking
attack.
down this tower here?
I think Undying are fine with this. All they're just trying to wait for the Spectre timing. Spectre's like, to go to Manta style, they're not like mid lane, no?
Jump in, good call afterwards. Brax able to find him, and now the Mortimer Kisses coming out completely with the sharpshooter Saberlight dropping down low. Golden Brace is there, but it's not enough. Manta dodge afterwards. They turn that one to Gunnar. Oh no, the winner's done. He's gonna take him down very low. Still gonna be enough. Out that ulti turns now, tries to keep Sammy Boy alive. Is it gonna be enough though? While throwing out that cookie, trying to slow them down as much as possible. Another robotic shield. Sammy the card, Brax is there. Able to catch on to 2. Do they have enough to get him out and continue to turn on to more of this? Timado is quite strong right now on this Spectre. But Brax still living the slowest disengage in the world. Sammy did kill Jubu with his illusions in the meantime, and now Song of the Siren for reinitiation. It's an opportunity here. Do they have enough to kill off Timado? There's the net underneath the tower, lots of damage. Manta afterwards, jump forward, call,
Radiant's top tower
connection,
is
but he's
under
broken. He couldn't get the spins off because of it. Now the Burrow Strike for the turnaround. Brax saved again by Husky. This dude is almost completely out of mana now. That Abba has been everything this.
Man, and a really good timing hit from Undying there. I mean, even though they didn't quite have the Manta style, they recognized that
Radiant's
Naga
top
sleep was
tower is
down,
under
and they
attack.
had this window where they could use Haunt to just take the fight. I also want to say, like, Abaddon, in that fight, he's so happy he went for the mana boots over the tranquil boots, because how many shields did he get off? It had to be like 10 shields, like legitimately 10 shields. A whole minute of just clicking W and Q on his allies. He just saved so many lives there. I thought Sammy Boy is dead for sure, and that would have been a disaster for Zoomers. Instead, they sort of get to turn it around. Now they have no Haunt, and you have a little bit of a window where I think you're actually stronger on the map than your opponent.
And, you know, I think that we talked about, like, what's the answer for Bryle on this Viper? How do you deal with them? And I think we're starting to see it a little bit with this Abba. Like, how many poison attacks did Bryle get off in that fight? And then they're not stacking up, right? Because you just keep on getting these constant apodic shields. It's been fabulous.
That's a really good point. Bryle actually, he ran out of mana during that fight. I mean, we're talking about the shields, but you're right. Bryle hit, he must have hit like 40 times that. Like, Zio's just automatic completely, even with auto charges and wand. And bro, I really like his item though this game. He's gone for a very stable Boots of Travel, Dragonlance BKB. It makes Viper actually feel like a normal hero when you can move around not at 300 MS. So Boots of Travel is always like, oh, he loves his TP on top lane. They're trying to set up with the glyph there maybe.
Getting chased here. Saberlight thought about dropping that epicenter, but decides not to, and he's gonna come back to bite him at all. No, there's other heroes coming in. So 4 heroes rotating top, and Gunnar is gonna TP out.
Radiant's
Good
middle
measurement
tower is
from
under
Team
attack.
4 Zoomers there, because if they had chased just a little bit further, Moon was already on the case. He was TPing up, his level 3 in Scurry, and he was running up there. They honestly, it looked far, but like another 2 seconds of moving forward and they would have caught a hero.
You know, I remember this interview that we just had with Gunnar, and we were asking, is there anything special that we're going to be seeing? Is there anything unique that's going to be going on? And one of the points that he brought up really comes back to me now, which was, you know, this is what our goal was. Our goal was to get to grand finals, and this looks like a different 4 Zoomers. Not to say that they're like sandbagging or anything like that, but I will say that they look a lot crisper. They've been gaining, getting better throughout the course of the qualifiers, and this is the best that I think they've looked so far. And they're up 3,000 gold against Undying. This is going to be a series.
For sure, and I think we've seen that historically, right? Oh, 1 second, they're going to Husky here.
He looks like he's out of there.
Alright, he finishes his 8th lens and his Tranquil Boost. This is a very rich Abaddon. Typically a hard position 6 hero where you don't get any farm, but he's actually the same net worth, effectively the same net worth as Moon Meander.
That's crazy. Great.
Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, historically, we saw at the Animajor that the teams who got to go into like the group stage and wildcards, they actually perform very well in the tournament, specifically Nigma and LGD, because you garner so much experience. I think for Zoomers, they sort of had an effect like that. They lost to the great team Arkosh, who was like just outplaying them the entire series. They learned a lot from that team, especially the 5-position player.
Okay.
And then now they're taking that experience into the series. And yeah, I agree. They're looking really crisp here.
They've definitely come up with some good answers, at least to a couple of the heroes. But Undying, they're nothing to slouch at either. This combination of like the Saberlight Burrow Strike into the Sharpshooter has proven to be really deadly, barring some like crazy outplays coming Zoomers afterwards. For now, at least,
top tower
map
is under attack.
sort of split down the middle a little bit here,
Radiant's
trading off the
bottom
farm,
tower
and
is under attack.
immediately the go Sunstrike. See, hey, take it, Roche. They're gonna give it to him for free. Feels like that's really. I don't know.
No, they're contesting this. They know the Roshan is not that fast, and they have Naga Siren. There's no way you can do it.
Radiant's bottom tower
Moving over
is
this
under attack.
direction. Can they get there quickly enough? Now, smoke break first for Ocean. Saberlight looking for a big catch. The tornado's gonna go out. There's no catch to the hole, but they can't use it. It's a good enough initiation after the fact, though. Broken, trying to get the kill onto one. His ulti's already popped. Everybody's dropping down so low. And it's still Ocean. Sammy, in the meantime, though, turns now. Arms, the Spectre, Timado. Can they bring him down? Coming back in for round 2.
Radiant's
They have to
middle
buy
tower
back
has
for this
fallen.
one. They've already killed that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. The Sammy going on to Vile, but a little bit too scary. Saberlight still has Epi ready to go. As God, look at those Naga illusions. Era Timado wasn't enough for the kill, but he does have a lot of damage. Somehow they gained 5,000 gold throughout the course of that on Zoomers, even though they fought back on a hero.
I can't believe. Well, I mean, first of all, like it goes okay for them, but I can't believe they gave up the Aegis. They had the Shrine. I didn't click all the heroes, but they did not have TPs. Like they scouted out so early with the first Sunstrike, and then they did the second Sunstrike when Roshan was like at 50%, and then it took them long enough that they were just able to burst the team Undying. I think one of the underrated, I mean, Echo Saber is meta on Spectre now, but it really makes your Roshan fast because every 5 seconds you basically get a double hit.
Plus the Manta
Radiant's
for the
bottom
for sure.
Desolate,
is
so
under
it's what,
attack.
like
Good ward here,
180. Sin. Burrow Strike is there. Sammy.
They have no haunt, but I don't think you want to fight this on Force
Radiant's
Zoomers.
bottom tower
Sammy trying to
has fallen.
TP out of there. Song will end and they will escape. So that's for a catch. But again, the thing that's really interesting about this is they're still gaining a gold advantage on the Zoomers. I feel like Sammy is just farming so efficiently now.
I mean, bot tower did die, so that explains a little bit, but I'm surprised that, I mean, you have an Aegis and the gold lead has gone from 5 to 7k. I mean, we shouldn't be so surprised this game because this Aegis isn't like a, oh, we are stronger than you. We're going to get an Aegis and then control the map and fight you. This was like a, oh god, please let us have this Aegis, or like I'm scared on the map thing, you know? So,
For sure.
with that being said, it's not like the heroes on Fort Zoomer's lineup are overly compelling. Like, if you have Phoenix Tidehunter Spectre or Phoenix Tidehunter Medusa lineup and you're up this much gold, that enemy feels like they can never take a team fight with you. Naga Siren, she's sort of like fake net worth like Alchemist, just because how she man fights is not the same as other characters. That's not to say she's not strong as a hero or like strong in the man fight. It's just different, you know? Like a 20k Naga Siren is not the same as a 20k Spectre.
For sure, definitely. And I think that one of the things that's going to be really interesting to watch is like how you can try and isolate those supports from Undying, because they're kind of maneuverable in weird and funky ways, right? You got the Wyvern, fly over cliffs, you Hoodwink that can scurry around, but it feels like if Naga Siren illusions ever end up getting on them, then all of a sudden like you kill those heroes, and then it kind of doesn't matter if like you can't deal with the Spectre one-on-one because the Naga Siren is that much bigger. She has her whole rest of her team that's still alive, so
for sure.
Be,
it's worth mentioning that the supports have the only real AoE spells on
right.
On that. I mean, of course you have Sand King, but he's going to use his spells to initiate. Like, it's our only real AoE reset spells. And like Dubu, like, he's been playing well this game. He had a couple of really clutch curses, but his net worth has sort of reflected a bit of the style that Team Undying play. He's not going to have the itemization that normally you might have to deal with the Naga Siren. Like, literally, if one illusion runs at him, he has to Q, hit it, and run away. And, you know, Simon, he almost has Butterfly. You might miss that Q, and you might just die to an illusion.
Yeah, that would be quite bad.
It would be super fair.
Professional opinion. Well, they're gonna commit here, send some illusions up the high ground. They do take on Undying, the tier 2 tower in the top lane, but already this pressure on the bottom tier 3. Take about, what is this, 1,000 damage off of it? They're slowly but steadily whittling away these Undying towers. Now with this butterfly, like you mentioned, things are looking not too bad. I guess, oh wait, Net connects, he had some vision. Hoodwink, gonna try and go now.
Visibility!
Jason sending those illusions in, and Moon's gonna be able to walk out, but they do get that stun. And the aquatic shield comes out, pops the Song of the Siren, but the BKB, Ryle, is it gonna be enough damage?
I can't believe what we're seeing! What just
Sandy
happened?
manages to escape, but that's gonna be some map control regained by Undying.
For sure. They have to pump the Song, so Naga Siren's a little bit more vulnerable, but it is a bit hard to push forward because Viper now also doesn't have the BKB. We do have, I also want to mention that Brax, you know, he went for Vanguard Lifdagger, and then he realized he's playing, like, he's making good plays. Oh, 1 second, they're jumping Ocean here.
Is it? Chance? Burrow? And Brax for the turnaround.
Moon's gonna catch it.
Okay, and then the TP out. Oh no! Brax did BKB first. Sammy in the meantime kills Dubu. All right, things got really weird. So Brax is gonna die, and he kills Saber like, oh, let's go at the turn. What's the jump? Can he get a spin? It's not gonna happen. Sammy shows up now, looking for some retribution. How dare you kill my ass? I'm coming for you. Jason tries to turn it. Husky still living, taking a lot of damage. Gunner shows up. This is a really weird fight here for the Zoomers. And Undying, if they get too far out of position as well, they could all just die. Sammy will back out. Timado trying to give a little bit of chase. Looks like, at least for now, they're going to separate, head back to farming their sides of the map again. 10-10, super even game.
Just a small note about that fight. I think Saberlight was dead there if Brow doesn't get the Nanotoxin onto Axe. There was a lot of units hitting Axe, but his BKB ran out, and luckily, like, that break from Nanotoxin ends up saving Saberlight. That would have been one of the biggest, like, big play turns I've seen. You know, you get like 3v1 ganked on the side lane, your support TP's out leaving you, stupid core, you don't deserve my help, and then like you still get a turnaround kill. But anyways, I don't know who won that fight. I think it was Undying slightly, but no one's feeling too bad about that fight. Oh, they jumped Gutter though.
Yeah, they got him. Did just get the Aghanims completed. Gonna have to try and run out of there. Doesn't have a team. They will be able to disengage. Now, this is gonna be one of the big ones to watch for. We talked about this combo in the draft. It was 2 of their first picks. Invoker, Axe, Cataclysm, raining down Hellfire. It's gonna be something to watch for. Do Undying have what they need to deal with that right now in this?
Well, Their supports are really poor. So Lumion, he's starting on his Aeon-Disc, but Winter Wyvern does not have the Force Snap. So I think it might be a scary timing for them. I will say, okay, I want to talk about this though. Brax, he went for Lake Vanguard BKB, and I really like this because I've seen so many offline acts just go straight for that Manta. And maybe he would have preferred to have that Manta in the last engage, but you know, he has Naga, Siren, Invoker, dual cores. These heroes actually do a high amount of damage if you provide lockdown for them. And now, like, you look at the items, and Sammy Boy, I think he has a BKB coming. Yeah, he has a BKB, Invoker has a BKB, Axe has a BKB. You feel like a real team. Like, he would only have Manta right now, and they'd be like, oh, wait for my BKB, wait for my position 3 to farm. It just feels so bad. I really like his decision making.
Like you mentioned, this is a huge timing, and they really don't have much that goes through that with the exception of some Timado shenanigans.
Under attack.
So we're gonna have to keep our eyes on this here as Moon reveals himself. Gunnar looking, tornado, lift up. Sammy right on top. The Aeon Disc already on file there as well. Burrow's trying to find Gunnar. Looking for that takedown, looking for that kill. Matt, maybe in his range, not quite gonna get there in time. BKB keeping him alive, but Gunnar can't he escape? Just looking for the call, able to connect. Trial finds the kill. One goes down. Saberlight though also going into the meat grinder. All of these heroes are starting to get torn apart. Is it going to be enough? Sammy rooted Force-Staff, trying to keep them away. Has to go. Oh, but they bring it. Trying to get the Song of the Siren off, and they will be able to. So they'll disengage. Trade of 2 for 1. In the end.
At the same time, in order to hit the Cataclysm, and I mean, that's a big deal. You also have Haunt, who sort of tank the Cataclysm Sunstrikes. And I mean, potentially Manta, but probably just like, if you haunt on the Axe, the Cataclysm will do less damage. Big deal.
Right, yeah. I mean, and now the other thing to sort of keep our eyes on, long cooldowns for Undying. Not crazy long, but several of them that are fairly long, including Haunt. But Undying going to take Roche in this time period. This is huge. I was going to say that maybe Zoomer's going to come and done this. They go in to check. Dude, Sammy's right by there. He's going to walk into it. He's got him here. Has to get there really strong. Cooldown with the freaking Hurricane Kite gets him away from it. Unreal.
And it was just a clutch rune and timing on the Roshan respawn from Team Undying. Spectre gets an illusion. It's more damage than the double damage from Spectre, and that Roshan died really fast. I mean, fast spawn and a Roshan, and that's the second Roshan. That's so big for them.
That is tremendous for Team Undying, and Zoomer's gotta be kicking themselves. I mean, he even went in to go check it, but it just was such a quick spawn.
Do you see
and
how long that spawn was? Because I didn't actually see. It was instant.
It must have been. Oh no, and Sammy now caught. Do they have enough to kill him? Looking for the finish, trying to bring him down. He's down to such low AP. The Song of the Siren not gonna save him. Undying, looking good here in game number 1. Weathers the first storm. I mean, how much does that change things?
No, I think Undying are going to win this game for sure now. But I think that their position, I mean, for sure, like, their position is very dominant. That was just a bad death from Sammy Boy. Because you know the enemy team Roshan, and then you just farm the camp closest to Roshan. So you're just all alone there. It's like, it's a little bit of like an inexperienced mistake, or I'm not too sure what it was. Maybe he's mad about the Roshan, they're yelling about stuff. But it's like it demonstrates a lack of focus in this game, because that can't happen. Not right after you lost Mages.
Down bottom, Gunnar forced to pop that BKB. Go for the out. Rax is still hanging out here looking. Cataclysm, there could be enough, but no, they're just gonna cut the waves. That's what he's looking for afterwards.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, and we can see like one death on the Naga Siren to Roshan, a 7k gold lead evaporates, and that 7k gold lead, I would have put like the odds at this game at pretty much even. I don't think Zoomers are ahead enough. Now when it's even, like, I think it's a dying game for me right now.
They are in a good position. That being said, we've seen crazier things, but this has always been that strength of Team Undying, is their ability to sort of stick through a game and not drop the ball. The question becomes now, like, you know, first of all, can Zoomers make a fabulous play, but second of all, are Undying going to be able to sort of stick with it and see it through?
Sorry, there's just so much happening in this game. I didn't even realize. Click on Saberlight. His build is lit. Like, Fire Sange, Eternal Shroud, that's a very Chad build. Just very tanky. I think he disassembled his Aeon-Disc for the Eternal Shroud and... Sorry, he disassembled his Vanguard, I can't speak English, for Eternal Shroud and Aeon-Disc, just making the most of his build.
Right. things going on here. Husky is going to get found.
He's alone.
This is nearby the rest of us team, but they're not going to opt to try and save him at all. So,
Wait, is he TP out?
TP out? Oh, what a god.
Tip him.
What a god.
No tip? Okay, 4 Zoomers are mentally destroyed. Because if I was position 5 and I'm at that play, like I'd literally yell at my teammates. This is just so good. I mean, it made no difference because you're a useless, worthless support then, but it should feel good, you know? And if they're not feeling good about that play, then I'm a bit worried.
That is a fair point there. It's one of those things where you need to find something big where you can sort of regain that momentum within the game. Start feeling yourself slightly. We'll have to see. I think that they started to pick up a gem too, or at least Abba had it queued up. He still hasn't been able to finish buying it yet.
Yeah, they really need that. Like, there's a sick ward in their base, there's a ward in both sides of the jungle. Undying, they just have great vision right now. Even a ward to catch the Naga and split push in their own jungle. And I saw for a moment there, like, 5 of 4 Zoomers heroes, they're stuck in their base, and you're playing a Naga Siren lineup against Spectre. Like, if that isn't an indication of the state of the game, then I don't know what is, because that's awful. Like, you don't want to be stuck in your base, Naga Siren for.
They do get this next tier of items, and they have been able to make a little bit of a move out here onto the map. Still not feeling great, but Sammy is farming up the enemies triangle. That's something here. Undying in the meantime, trying to make a move down bottom, see if they can take this tier 2 tower, maybe looking for more.
They do have the leveler on Spectre, and they're going to want to force 4 Zoomers back to base here. Axe and Naga are on the map here, but they're going to have to keep it back. Samuel Boy's doing a good job of cutting waves, but you know, what can you do? You have to come back to base.
KB done now. They're going to pop that glyph. Game is looking rather rough. Have the timeless relic right now on the Snapfire, getting some vision up on the high ground, and Saberlight came back to find Brax. Oh, they spot him. He didn't BKB again. He didn't see that the Saberlight was right on top of him. Oh, and they're even gonna hunt for him. Brax popped chase down and killed Timado on top.
And you can see, like, one of the signs of these really good teams. Man, those Naga illusions do nothing to Spectre. This bottom 5 versus illusion hero is very strong conceptually, as you don't want to buy MKB on any of those heroes, but it's looking rough for him.
Husky gonna get chased down. Ulti is popped, has to back out of there. Keeping that damage on. There's 4 stabs, there's freaking the psychic headbands. Even pops now the Song of the Siren. Sammy just gonna run back inside the base, but they've used absolutely everything. They do a buyback on the Axe.
That was such a good play from Undying, though, to set up on the Axe. And they're feinting the high ground push bottom, so there's no way that Rax is gonna think they're going for him. Undying, they're so fast. They're making this move, and they're already setting up for gutter bottom here. You can see. This is what I think Undying's strength is. I think when the map gets split up, they're just as good. I think they're actually better than EG at this. And it's like a weird thing to say because EG are like top 2 at the 2 majors in a row. But for catching heroes, when the map is split up, I think they do an extremely good job. They're just always on point. A lot of it has to do with like Moon Neander. You can think even back to his OG days, one of the best killers in Dota.
So, essentially him. But Bryle, do they catch him? Oh, they knew right where he was.
And that was so close. Sammy Boy had the Abyssal Blade, he had the Spider Legs, but they just couldn't quite find him there. And you know, that's the difference. Sometimes that's all it comes to in Dota. The 2 picks that they got on Axe this game, barely getting him as he TP's out because, you know, he's not expecting a stun to come out. Whereas Undying, they're just, you know, we saw like 3 or 4 smoke dodges from the Undying side, and Naga-san could never get true map control, even though he's 6-slotted. Like, it's not a real 6-slot again. It's a Naga-san 6-slot. He doesn't feel good about it.
Right. Well, and I mean, he is, you know, 4,000 gold ahead of the Spectre right now. You can try and push the lanes. It feels like kind of regained some of that map control. But the question will be when Undying do decide to actually take these fights, how do you win them? It's looking a little bit rough right now for the Zoomers. Unable to go. But Ali, I mean, you've been in plenty of these games as well, I'm sure. Like, things can sometimes go a little bit crazy, right? Like,
for sure. I mean,
wilder thing.
Is there a fight here? They're smoking up on Undying. This is a good smoke.
Do they know they're a 1? Yes, they do. Jump, caught, dead so quickly. Now looking for more. Who are they gonna find? Jumping away is Brax. be able to catch him as he TP's out, and so too will Dagger again. Went right through in the Burrow Strike to his location. But yeah, man, losing the Naga like that one hurt.
It really does. And I mean, it's not like four Zoomers don't have options. In games like this, what Naga Siren can do is she can split up the map in a way that your teammates can get pickoffs. They do have tools to do that with the Cataclysm, the Axe, and the Snapfire. The reason I'm feeling a bit defeatist about this game is because I think Undying has just done such a good job at playing the map, and they haven't given any of these opportunities. Naga Siren tries to 50 with no buyback, you know, he has a leveler. This is going to be 2 or 3 axes here.
Game is looking rather rough. Runner is gonna just get pulled back in again. KB Pop trying to back out, dead on Husky. Now jumping forward, Brax trying to find himself a kill to do, but with that Force Staff away, keeps him alive. And now Brax in no man's land, Undying, doing what they do best. They're gonna have to buy back now and try and save him. We'll get Brax away for the moment. There's a heck of a lot of damage onto him. They will be able to actually keep their second set of racks alive, but that one rack's going down, that one hurts. Playing with the Naga
Radiant's
Siren.
middle tower is under attack.
Sunstrike? Not enough.
So they, instead of killing all the Raxes, Undying sort of chose to dive a little bit, maybe secure the game. Oh, I actually thought they had Viper Shard. Okay, so their play is probably better. And, you know, they forced out the Abaddon buyback. He actually got Furry ulted, and he couldn't press his ulti because, you know, he expects the auto to go off, but you're broken and just one-shot him. Maybe it kills you anyways, because you can't. Never mind. Anyway, so now the problem for Undying is that we saw like 6 Naga illusions like 10 minutes ago hit Timado, and they did no damage. Can you see the man play?
Jump in, Gunner, the first one caught. Is there any save? Does have buyback though. Trying to play to get vision. Counter initiation for Brax might be what they're looking for, but Sammy, he's getting gone on. Second round. Tornado completely whipped. Burrow Strike afterwards. The big jump in. Is there anything else left in the tank right here from Zoomers? They get the call Cataclysm. Is it going to be enough? They take down Dubu. Now looking for more though. They found Gunner. That's a dieback for him. Godlike on Bryle. Sammy gets turned around upon as well. And they're going to be able to chase him down, kill him in the duration of the Song of the Siren. Unless, oh no! All of the butterfly misses. They're still holding on for life. Downtown though, tries to get him. Oh, he's jumped in front again. Brax keeping his core alive. They're hoping for anything, some small semblance of a chance at victory. Sammy gonna have to regen back up and Fountain as Undying set their sights on that tier 3 tower. Taking a second set of racks here if they can.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
What a hard game for them to deal with right now.
Just, if you look at Invoker as a hero, that hero is picked for 2 spells. I guess 3 spells. It's Cold Snap with the Urn, it's Cataclysm, and it's Alacrity. And at the end of the day, like, Naga Siren with this item though is the worst Alacrity user in the game.
Not wrong. Holding in and staying alive yet again. Meanwhile, the winner's curse onto an Axe Illusion, but they got their eyes set on the Burrow afterwards. And a chance for a kill. Sammy goes down as well. GG. With that, Undying to draw first blood in this best of 5 series.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, 4 Zoomers.